All right, I think I'm back live. Um, okay, let me see. Hold on, let me refresh everything. Okay, so this is gonna be glitching. Okay, so where did it leave me off at? Because I let me get this space back up. Okay, so it's saying my live stream is still live, but I know it's not because that error that just happened. Okay, so it put me back here. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me do this. So, to explain what just happened, basically the entire like part of my house, I guess, just cut off for like 1 second, and that's what happened. So I was waiting for my Wi-Fi and everything to cut back on along with my system, but I'm back now. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but I don't know if the stream is gonna work properly. Let me check. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess technically this is a new video, so we're back at it at Spider-Man part 3.5 because it's still the same live stream, just cut in half now. I don't know. CK here too, by the way. Anyway,
Yeah,
we gonna get back to this damn Spider-Man. All right, let's do it, guys.
You know, low key, I do wish we would have our own little like thing with superheroes though. We were talking about that. I'm just like, yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, I find like a lot of stuff about gaming that I love and that I want to mess with and tamper it, but I also see how effing hard it is to become a game designer, to be able to program and all of that. Like, I have the vision for it, but I don't have the creativity for it. If there's a game designer out there who could actually help me make my game into reality, I have plenty of ideas, plenty of stories that aren't half bad that can be turned into a story. It's just more of a fact that I myself aren't good. Is it? Aren't? I'm not that good at it.
I always think that it'd be good. It'd be good to give people the freedom to create your own superhero, kind of like a, I don't know, like a Dragon Age or Mass Effect kind of thing, where you choose how you want to go down the path.
Yeah, see, that's my type of game style. It's like, I want to give the player a choice whether to be good or bad or just kind of in the middle. Like, yeah. I want there to be at least 3 and then maybe add more on, like, for New Game Plus. Kind of like how Bloodborne did, where there's only 1 difficulty and the enemies just get slightly harder each time you play. Like, that whole Dark Souls style I like. But see, I would give my characters more flexibility and more room to like do unique and special things. Like with Bloodborne and Dark Souls, you have basic class magics and all of that. But I mean, I want these guys to be able to do like sword techniques that's like teleport slashes and stuff like that. Like, I want there to be like, my whole game idea is like, make a character, give them 3 options, 3 versions of their endings, and then like we add more characters, more storylines for each character as we go. Like, I can understand you put out a game, right, and you put it out for $20 game, like with 2K and how they do stuff where they make you spend $60 and then add the rest. That, no, I don't like that. Same for other games. That whole, here, spend $60 on a game that's half done, and if you want the rest of the game, pay another $40. That stuff I don't like. I want you to have the full game experience. If a game is worth $60, I want to give you $60 worth of game. If I'm gonna add DLC that costs money, I want there to be enough story that makes that $10, $15 worth it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Cause I'm the person that like buying them type of games where it's like Call of Duty. I want to play zombies. That's my only goal in Call of Duty is to play zombies. I don't play multiplayer. I'm not really big into the campaigns like that. I might play them for fun here and there. But my main concern is always zombies. And if the zombies ain't great, I feel like I wasted my money because I'm spending $60 on something I didn't really even want to begin with.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing for me is always the imagination that goes behind games. Like, you know, you can do whatever you want to do. You want to, you know, if you want to create this kind of character, you know, if you want to be like a mage or an archer or a warrior, you can do that. You know, I like those kind of fantasy kind of games. I would say that, you know, the ability to choose what you want to fucking do is a big reason of that too, I would say.
Oh, did I tell you Stan Lee is in the anime? I found that out stuff. It's called Hero Man. It's an actual full-on Japanese anime that never came out in English. They actually got him animated in the show, and he was getting his coffee filled up at like one of the restaurants. And I'm like, are y'all serious with that? This man Stan Lee is everywhere.
Oh yeah, he is.
I find it funny.
It is funny to see that. I do feel bad though for him though.
Oh yeah.
The shit that goes on in his life.
Like a lot of the things that they do without his permission. The fact that he can't even read his own comic books anymore, I kind of feel bad for him about.
Oh yeah. Back to my game thing. I would say, you know, if you're gonna make a superhero game, I would say they gotta give you the option, if you're gonna do DC, give you the option whether to be alien, mystical, like, you know, like if you make a female, either Amazon or whatever.
See, if you're gonna make a superhero game, I would kind of take the how Xenoverse did with the whole, you know, you got a male, female version of each character, and then there's the genderless species that really don't have no other type of gender. Like, I like that idea, but see, I feel like they could have did so much more to make it more realistic. Like, yeah, okay, you give them basic combos, but I feel like they should have kept the Ultimate Tenkaichi style where, like, you could learn how to fight like a different character. Like, oh, I'm a female Saiyan, so I want to fight like, oh, I don't know, Chi-Chi. Let me go train with Chi-Chi, learn her fighting style. Or I want to fight like Gohan because I'm a small character. So let me get Gohan fighting style. Like, I like that thought process.
I would say the biggest thing would be too is that I think you gotta start, your character has to start out as like a child or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
you can't just throw them in there overpowered.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to a degree, I actually like it, like how Prototype was, where they showed him in the future going, you know, beast mode, but then it rewinds back to the past and it's just like, oh, okay, that was the future, huh?
Yeah, and I like that idea. I do. I think though, your character has to build up to that. How you want to go about it, you know, like.
Yeah. That's where me and like that game would kind of differ. It's like I said, there's 3 alternate versions of how I will have it. So like. Hero,
renegade, villain. That's how I see it going. Like, well, renegade's more like anti, you know, like you
anti-hero. It's not necessarily a hero, but it ain't a villain either.
Yeah, exactly. I would say the biggest thing would be if you start out as like a, you know, regular Joe or whatever, and you don't gain powers for whatever reason,
Okay, so you kind of going off the Black Clover approach, like that the kid who had literally no powers but became something special off of either pure luck or pure determination, one of the two.
It's kind of like that, kind of. If you choose that route, if you choose like, you know, Alien, you know, you do the same thing, you know, certain actions and certain choices that you choose develop your character as they grow up. It's not gonna be like, you know, you're gonna spend like 6 hours as a kid. It's gonna be like, you know,
no, like a quick summary, kind of like how not Final Fantasy, Dragon Age used to do, where it used to be not Dragon Age, was it Dragon Quest, where like it had you as a kid for like only a little while, and then it skip over to when you go out into your adventure.
Yeah, exactly. Based off of what you did. And, like, you know, I feel like you do gotta put, like, not to be that person and put the trope in there that something tragic has to happen, but if you want that...
I mean, if you're going with a DC or a Marvel, yeah, definitely. But if it's just, like, your own personal game, I wouldn't even say it has to be all that. Sometimes, you know, a hero is born even without the tragedy part.
Oh, yeah. But... like, I'm thinking, though, if you're doing a DC game strictly, or Marvel strictly, put that tragedy in there, I guess.
Yeah, Marvel or DC, guaranteed, yeah. But if we're talking just, like, in general gaming, nah, not necessary.
Oh, yeah. I would say, well, you know, it'd be awesome to see that kind of game, because then you can just, like, you know, for superhero purposes, or, you know, like, not really superhero, or supervillain, you know, like extraordinary person, you whatever. You decide, like during that tragic event, whether you're gonna go down the path of light, dark, or
See, my theory is like how, depending on what character you choose, the story starts off differently.
Good work, Spiderman.
Yeah.
So like, okay, say if you're human, you have that generic, you know, parents died, or depending on like how you want to do your story, certain things change. Like, okay, say if you were a good child, you know, you had the typical hero beginning, you know, parents passed away. Or if you was a bad child, you know, something happened, or you met somebody that changed how you thought about things. Or hell, you could even be the kid that was just idolizing other superheroes when you was younger. Like, I see stuff like that.
That'd be something I would like.
And then, see, with the alien thing, I'm like, okay, if I had for an alien character, like, how I would do it is probably have him, like, there's 3 types of alien. I have the invader type of alien, I'd have the lost on this planet alien, and then the I'm here to learn alien.
Okay, so like the, we'll go with the aliens we have Superman, John Jones, and then you got General Zod. All 3
basically
are in those 3 categories. I'm here to learn, that's John Jones. The first one was Superman, or not, the second one was Superman, and the first one was General Zod with the invading the planet.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I like that idea, and then for like maybe a demon or an angel class character, like, I'll say your human version dies somewhere at some point, and like as you're going through, you know, the process of having, like, being sent to heaven or hell, you like have to pick certain questions, and like it has a scale that'll tell you if you're being good or evil, and then based off of that you either go to heaven or hell or be sent to purgatory that's in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, it'll ask you how you died, and then you can like select from like a couple of few, like car accident, murder, old age, something like that. And then take that Kingdom Hearts thought, like where you come into a world where like you're talking to people that that you remember in your life, but they're not really there with you.
Yeah.
That's why I love Kingdom Hearts. Like, it, excuse me, CK. Wait, CK, have you ever played Kingdom Hearts? Like all the way through, all of them? I'm gonna have to have you play it when I get my account back from my brother. Cause Kingdom Hearts is a phenomenal ass story. Like I feel like even with you being who you are, you would love Kingdom Hearts.
I would say the biggest. Okay. Yeah. I almost forgot. You got magical beacons too. Like people that use magic. I mean, if you really want to go with that shit. Yeah. Go magic.
And then see if you're gonna be the path of magic. And then see what my thought about the path of magic, like I would have it like you're studying in magic, in a hidden class of magic, and they're like, okay, you have to pick your class of magic, but then like it's based off of what kind of magic you get. So throughout your little courses in the magic guild, they have you do certain things, and then based off of your choices, it have you become like proficient in light magic, or it has you proficient in dark magic, or you're good at both magic. And then the thing that I would like majorly stress is at some point each of these characters meet each other. Like whether it be the alien just so happening to be the hero that the humans saw, or the magician saw the alien invader to use his hands to defeat this enemy. Like I want them all to be tied together in some form or fashion. Like I know it sounds complicated, but like once you get down the story, like if you've ever seen a D&D game or been in one, you know there's so goddamn many roads you can go down way off the original story's line, just off of doing a net 1 or net 20. It just changes everything.
Yeah, I would say the big thing though I would really like to see in that would be God, I would say the biggest thing would be I would say it'd be big to see them what was this? I'm losing my train of thought here, but like I think it'd be great to see like like if you pick like it has you pick where your city is that you're growing up at.
See, I would keep that part, like I would keep it on Earth, and I would like try to use the real city names and stuff, so like people can pick their hometowns.
Okay, so if it's DC based, you got Metropolis, you got Coast City, you got Central City, you got Gotham, you got Bloodhaven.
Yeah, you got all the major cities. And see, I would
start there. If you start there, I feel the difficulty will be a bit higher for you because if you're going villain,
you're already in a world where super villains kind of run things.
I would say that, yeah, that, and then you got like.
I can check it out. Any idea when he's meeting or not?
Well, I would say also you got heroes too.
Okay. Don't worry.
See, the one thing that made me like really want to explore what you can like do with choice-based game and like action placement is Undertale. Like, if I never seen Undertale for the first time, all these ideas of like having alternate stories like that wouldn't have been that much of a big idea to me, because it was like, I mean, that one basic story is pretty decent. What could be so bad? But now it's like, okay, I get how people will want more from a $60 game. I mean, goddamn, you're spending $60. You gotta at least have, you know, some substance to it.
Oh yeah. I would say it'd be really awesome to see something like that. You know, like if you like let's say for some reason you go Gotham. Let's say you go Star City or whatever, or you know, fuck it.
Hell, and for the aliens, I would even have them like pick their planet. Like, you could be off of Apocalypse if you really want to be about that life. And the thing that it gives you is like, for the Apocalypse characters, it gives you like great endurance, stamina, strength. because Apocalypse is a world filled with fighters. Or maybe you want to go to Krypton, which would give you higher intellect and basic, Superman powers.
But I'll need more evidence before I can do anything.
Oh yeah, you're from Krypton, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but you also have their weaknesses. Like, if you're gonna do that, you also gotta have the kryptonite weakness. Or
Martian. Well, I'd say like Krypton, I'd say you would have like higher power, like you have more power,
higher damage.
higher damage output, but
And a little bit faster.
Looks like it's the other side of the
yeah.
house.
And then you get the Martians, who I'd say would have the high intelligence and wisdom.
Yeah, I could see that. And then they also have the ability to like transform and stuff.
Oh yeah. And I guess if you go with a hero and you pick a spot where there's a hero already like really well established there, like you got Star City, you got Green Arrow, you got Central City has Flash, Firestorm, Kid Flash, you got that. Gotham, you got the Bat Family.
Right.
Based off of what your character does and how he or she acts, you can either join them,
you either join them or they end up fighting you.
or you become like a target to them,
See, and like I said, this is kind of how
It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
this is kind of how DC Universe is. It's just that they didn't have the money or the resources to be able to completely
They rushed it too. They really rushed the gun. They should have started out
like
with
if they
Batman versus
developed that
Superman.
game more instead of making it just the basic PC game, that game would have been phenomenal. Like, don't get me wrong, you got your PC nerds who are willing to play that nonstop, or hell, even just your DC fans who, even though the game is trash, they still play it just because it's DC or just because it has characters that they like in it, even if it's not their preferred game style or platform. Yeah. See, my thing with is I can't do PC games. Like, they're too cringy to me. So like Final Fantasy, the newer ones, I can't play. They irritate the hell out of me trying to play those.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But if you're talking about Final Fantasy 6 that was like RPG based, I can rock with those. Or Final Fantasy 6 through 1, like back when it was heavily RPG based stuff, I can rock with that.
Except for 2, I would not play 2.
What's wrong with 2? I don't remember.
2 is bad. You had to take damage to increase your health.
I think you're thinking of Fire Emblem.
That's 2. That is literally 2. They did a video on worst games that came from good franchises, and they said 2 was one of them. Like they're talking, I'm like, damn, I forgot about that.
I mean, to a degree, they all have their flaws. Like that kind of comes with the territory of game developing, which is why I don't give them so much shit about their game. But if my only thing is, if you're gonna make a game and you're gonna have people spending money on it, you have to make it a fair trade. You have to.
Oh yeah. I would say the biggest problem too would be the fact that you got. I don't know. I think that I guess, if you design your costume, you get to pick, well, not really design your costume, but you get to pick out what you start out with as an outfit.
Yeah.
And,
see, I like them ideas. Like, I understand that's gonna cost money. Like, that's gonna cost a lot of money to have a professional developer do all this stuff, and I understand that. Like, I really do. I'm like, okay, I'm not completely stupid. I know that would cost a shit ton of money if the depending on who you get to design your game. But then you also got them game fanatics who are like, I just want to build a game regardless of price because I want to see what we can do together. Like, there are artists out there that's like that who just want to see what they can build together. And if I could bring those type of people into the same room and like have them come together, I feel like they would be an amazing. It would create an amazing game. Like, it could develop from just fighting game to like adventure. It could mix so much stuff together.
Hey, Carmen. Your husband's pal and his team just had their trip to beautiful Atlantic City canceled.
I would say the big thing that I would really like to see would be, God.
I've got a contact on the force. She'll help retrieve.
I think, like, not to say I'm being really nitpicky on this one, but I would love to see something where, like, if you pick out your main color scheme right at the starting screen, and that color scheme, no matter what your outfit is, stays the same. Like, if you get something like
somebody just pick a goddamn rainbow color, no matter what outfit you wear, you're just stuck rainbow color.
Well, yeah, but like, let's say you go with this. Let's say you go with leather jacket, and you're like, I want that black, or I want that, you know, blood red with black outlines running down the side of you, like, you know, main parts, and then you get like a symbol, like yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you get a symbol on the back that's black.
I would say the emblem you make at the very beginning should kind of stay the same, but everything else you could still kind of customize. Like, because Spider-Man throughout the era, he's had the same spider symbol, but he's also adapted it and changed it based off of what uniform he was wearing. Yeah, and then like, yeah, his part about that. Yeah, like, that's his original joint, but at the same token, when it's time to whip out something that's necessary for a specific style, he's willing to change up and adapt.
I'm trying to do the bat signal now. I'm like, on my fingers, I'm like,
oh dear God.
Well, okay, let's say it like this. I would say with Batman too, you got, you know, the black, the cowl, the mask, everything. With Batman, there's not one significant color besides black. With the Bat family, though, you got Robin, you know,
red and green with yellow in it.
Yellow. Nightwing, you got
black and blue or black and red.
Black and red, yeah. You got Nightwing, you got Red Hood was red, brown, and black, I would say.
Yeah, because he's wearing leather.
Red Robin, you got red, green, and I'd say black. There's no yellow in that too much, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, I like that idea, you know, and I'd say, like, what you pick as the color in your superhero outfit, that's the first thing you pick. And then, like, as soon as you start the game, it's your first time, it's your first night out, you're just like, alright guys, I totally do this, yeah.
Get bitch slapped by some strong enemy.
I just imagine you're in fucking Gotham, and you're just like, first night out, you're like, okay.
No, you're overconfident. You think you're about to win your first fight. You about to bring some justice to these guys, and then you end up going to the crime scene only to run into like Batman, Nightwing, or somebody major, and they think like, you're a villain, and you're just like, oh, fuck.
You know, you say that, but just imagine if you do that, and then you're in like Central City or Metropolis, and there's a crime scene, and you just see Superman, and you pick that human character who can do acrobats and all that. You're just saying, fuck, please don't.
Superman remembers that we're human. Remember, he knows how to hold back.
Well, yeah, but still, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want to get punched in the face by a Kryptonian that's still holding back. That's like getting punched by 100 people. That's like, no.
Nah, I'm good on that. I don't want that fate.
And then Flash, you got, you just fucking, you're just like, fuck, I gotta get out of here. And then he's like, oh, and he's like, hey buddy, where you going?
I was a new hero on the scene, but you see, you kind of got the job done, so I'll save my big premiere for another time, or another city, perhaps. Bye. Try to run.
fucking drags you to like Star Labs or whatever, or you know, Iron Heights. You're just like, shit, where?
And you're just stuck there in the middle of an army of all heroes. But see, you also gotta pay for them rights to use these characters' names, which is why I would say create our own heroes and stuff.
Well, I would say yeah, but I mean, like, if you were to base it off of a DC or a Marvel thing, if they were to really do something like that,
Yeah.
I think you would have to have them in there, and you know.
See, if we're gonna do a DC Marvel crossover, I would say instead of having the original characters, I would like to have the crossover breeds, like the fusions of each character.
Well, I say either one, because if you go basically, if you go only Marvel, you got those characters there. I think these, like Marvel, they're not really involved with other heroes' businesses as much, because it's like, okay, this guy.
Right. Marvel and DC have always been rivals, but at the end of the day, it's like who gonna win what at
Two different superhero styles. And
yeah, they're completely different, and yet they're rivals at the same token. The fact that one of the best writers, though, Stan Lee, really is. That's fucking with me. Stan Lee is really that damn old.
I know. It's crazy. I'm just like, please, Stan.
I need my man Stan Lee to stay around for at least another 2-3 years.
I'm gonna say 2 or 3 decades, but
I mean,
like,
we
please.
2-3 decades, we'd be lucky. That man's 80, I think.
That's asking a lot, but I'm like, just stick around, Stan, please.
Isn't Stan Lee 80?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I want him to stick around, though. So that's like,
I mean,
yeah,
look, if he want to live to 130 and be like the grandfather of comic books, hey, all hail the father, the Godfather.
All hail the Godfather. He's got that ring. He's like, kiss my ring. It's like, okay, of course, Mr. Lee.
He don't even he can't even talk no more, so he just holds out the hand, and you just know what you're supposed to do. Hold on, let me end this stream. Alright guys, that has been Spider-Man 3, and technically 3.5, you know what I mean. This was my homie CK. We was basically just renting on, you know, comic books, game development, you know, basic stuff that we usually talk about in general.
The usual.
Yeah. So anyway, I will catch y'all in the next, good job me. I'll catch y'all in the next video. As always, it's Half Our D3P, also known as Legend X King D3P. I will see y'all in the next video. Deuces.
Peace!